Hello, I'm Amber from the Further Education Wellbeing Service, which is an NHS service of 5 mental health professionals based across all 4 of the South Thames College Group colleges. That's Kingston, Merton, Carshalton and South Thames. We're going to be running webinars to help you prepare for college, focused on mental health and wellbeing. Today, we're going to be looking at self-care and ways to look after your well-being, delving into a bit more detail about the sorts of things you can do to keep your mind and body healthy and well, both of which are important when you're studying in a new environment, meeting new people and taking on new challenges. Then on Wednesday, we're going to be focusing on common worries that many people experience at the start of college, how to cope with these feelings. We'll also cover how you can reduce the intensity of any uncomfortable or difficult emotions so that they don't interfere with you settling into college. And then finally on Thursday, we'll be looking at setting some goals for your time at college and what you can do to reach these. So today's webinar, we're going to look at what is self-care, practical ways to practice self-care, managing stress, and how to access support at college. Now, to achieve your academic goals and enjoy your time at college, we know how important it is to look after your mental health. During this session, we'll look at some different ways in which you can take care of your well-being. First, let's start at looking at what is self-care. Self-care is a term that's mentioned a lot, but what does it actually mean and why is it important? Here's a video of young people defining self-care.
When I hear the term self-care, I believe it's putting yourself in the best mental position that you possibly can be.
Doing what's best for yourself and not really what's necessary for other people, putting yourself first.
Thinking about things that make you feel nice. It could be a face mask or doing your nails at the end of the day, or it could be about journaling or connecting with a friend. Anything that makes you feel happy and more fulfilled inside.
Taking care of yourself is just being yourself.
Self-care is different and comes in different forms for different people.
I practice self-care by keeping fit, playing basketball, like you said.
I pray.
We've been revising for exams this week, so we thought we'd go out today and take a break. Yeah, exactly.
I like to sing a lot, so it's just to be around people singing and getting praise for that.
A lot of the time when people think of self-care, they think of putting on a face mask and having a nice bubble bath, stuff like that. And that's, in the media's eyes, considered feminine. So most men wouldn't do that.
The urge to be masculine kind of deters you from self-care, because self-care is seen as a feminized thing.
Or sometimes you might feel like you don't deserve it.
So self-care doesn't have to be expensive. Go to the park, go for a walk, do something that is free and easy and makes you feel great after doing it.
To anyone with borderline personality disorder or ADHD will understand that we have to write a lot of lists and we have to really work on ourselves for years and years and years, even to take care of ourselves to the minimum extent.
Guided meditations, good at meditations help you get to know your inner self as well. People love TikTok, there's a few TikTok that show you how to do it. And a simple search on how to do self-care, how to do journaling, you can get started, just that.
Take time out of your day to focus on that. That helps block out all the things you should be doing, whatever, just focus, peace, calm.
Recently, I was broken up with and I went through a rough couple months in my life and I talked about it. It really helped me get past that and it really helped me focus on what I should be doing for myself and actually changed me for the better, actually.
It's all about just smaller steps. You're not trying to get to the end result straight away. Just do smaller things. Even you want to set up a routine. Start even just getting up in the morning and making your bed. Get up at a set time or before a set amount of time and just build it slowly. It only doesn't take a day.
Keep trying every day, even when you fail. Even in the smallest of ways, even if it's just giving yourself an objective and a goal, please just keep trying every single day.
So to summarise, self-care is looking after your mental, physical, emotional and spiritual health. Life involves a range of tasks and actions we must do on a daily basis, and balancing these things can be tricky sometimes. For example, family, friends, studying, work and other responsibilities. Practicing regular self-care can help you to stay healthy and feeling well. We're going to look at a number of easy ways to do this. Let's start with a quick question. How much of the human body do you think is made up of water? A, 30 to 45%, B, 10 to 25%, or C, 50 to 75%? C. It varies by age and gender, but the human body is made up of between 50 and 75% water. This means that every cell, tissue and organ in our body needs water to thrive. Drinking enough water or fluids is a key part of helping our body to stay hydrated and working well. Water is not only a simple but healthy choice, but it's also cheap or often free, for example from water fountains at college. NHS Eat Well gives a general guideline of drinking 6 to 8 cups or glasses of fluids a day, but lower fat milk and sugar-free drinks, including tea and coffee, all count too. The amount needed can vary from person to person, and it depends on how active you are as well, or other factors, for example, what the weather's like, or if you have any specific health needs. It's good to ask your GP for advice. Now I want you to think about what happens to a car when it's very low on petrol. It doesn't drive so well. It starts to drive less smoothly. It might make jerking movements, spluttery sounds, and it generally starts to struggle. It might not be able to get where the driver needs it to go. And once it's empty, it will just stop driving. Like a car, our bodies need fuel, and we get this fuel from eating and drinking. Like a car that's low on petrol, we tend not to function so well when we don't have enough fuel in our engines. Have you ever heard anyone say never go food shopping when you're hungry? This is because once we start to feel sluggish, tired and extra hungry, we're far more likely to pick foods and drinks that are high in sugar or fat, for example chocolates and sweets, as we're seeking an urgent boost to our energy. This gives us a quick and temporary fix, but then what happens is our energy levels drop quite quickly and we're left feeling pretty tired again. A good way to tackle this, particularly on college days when you're going to need to concentrate when you're learning, is to try and eat before, even if it's something small, to ensure you have the mental energy for learning. If it's not possible at home, you can grab something in the canteen when you arrive. Now, to feel at our best, it's widely recommended that we include a range of food groups in our diets to ensure that we get the energy, nutrients and vitamins that we need. So this includes, having portions of carbohydrates, fruit and vegetables, dairy, fats and proteins. And balance also means including some fun foods, so sweet or savoury treats in your diet. These are best enjoyed in smaller portions and less often. If you want to find out more, you can have a look on the NHS Eat Well guide for tips. And again, if you have any particular health needs, please do consult with your GP about diet and recommendations. Okay, so remember, your brain is responsible for every activity within your body and it's working constantly all day and all night. So the food and drink you have is what keeps it going. Eating and drinking enough regularly helps with concentration and energy levels and is good for mood. Sleep is also very important. So getting enough sleep is an essential part of self-care. So it allows your body and mind to recharge. It leaves you feeling more refreshed and more alert when you wake up. And healthy sleep also keeps the body healthy and sort of holds off a number of diseases and illnesses. So without enough sleep, the brain cannot function properly. Okay, and this can really prevent us from being able to concentrate, think clearly, and process memories and information. How much sleep do you think a 16 to 18-year-old needs? The answer is 8 to 10 hours. So between 8 and 10 hours is the optimum sort of amount of sleep that you want to be aiming for. It's really normal for routines to get out of check during the holidays or in gaps between, so sort of transitions from school to college, or back into college. So this video actually covers some evidence-based techniques for improving sleep. So please note that although the start of the video refers to coming out of lockdown, it's still very much relevant. Another way to practice self-care is to connect with others. So our social relationships are really important for our mental well-being. They can help us to build up a sense of belonging, being a part of, something, being a part of a group can help us to feel, to increase our self-worth. Also gives you an opportunity to share positive experiences with others and to provide and receive emotional support. So here are some ideas on how you can connect with others. Schedule time in with those you enjoy spending time with. So that could be friends, family, carers, guardians, and pets as well. Being around pets has a really positive effect on people. So that also counts as connecting. Spend time out in nature, getting fresh air. There are many benefits of spending time in nature, even if it's just taking a walk in your local park, that still counts too. So here's David Attenborough talking about the relationship between nature and mental well-being.
There is very strong evidence that people who spend time with the natural world benefit mentally to an extraordinary degree. I get a lot of letters from people who say that, who recently bereaved, for example, who said that the one thing that brought them comfort was to spend time in the natural world, relaxing and looking at things that are true and important and have been like that long before we arrived and for a long time after we've gone. It's clinically now been demonstrated that doing that is actually helps in the healing process and helps to bring people happiness and confidence and relaxation. All very important things in this modern world in which we all live. I was invited to become an executive in the BBC. So I was office bound, and I have to say I missed the natural world very much. I live in Richmond, and that's very close to Kew. And I had been spending a lot of time in the tropics, in jungles and so on, which is very exciting places, and I liked it very much. And when I really found that the office was getting me down with all this paper that I had to deal with and all these figures I had to deal with and so on, I used to go on the weekends to the tropical house in Kew Gardens and just go in and that heavy air laden with moisture and humidity and so on, and the perfumes of strange exotic blooms took me right back and revived me. Nature's everywhere, and you will be astounded. I mean, you've only got to dig a small pool in the smallest of gardens, and astonishingly, from all sorts, you can't imagine where, there will be all sorts of life in that pond, in that little pool. You can get the natural world into your life if you want to, even in the most urban of circumstances. Even a pot that's growing underneath some little glass cover in your home, growing and budding and flowering and putting out shoots and so on. You don't see it happen, except that you know that it has happened, and you look at it every day and you care for it every day, and it's a joy.
You could join a club or try a new activity. So if you're interested in doing something new or trying something new, there are different things that you can do, such as sports, dance, art, and you could start by looking on your local council's website and searching for clubs and activities in your local area. To find your local council website, you can check which is your local council by going on gov.uk, find your local council and putting in your postcode, and then going on your local council's website to look at what opportunities there are in the area, some of which will be free and some might be at a very small cost. Okay, you could also try volunteering. So that's giving your time in some way or other. It could be helping out in your local community or based on your interests. So here are 2 websites with different volunteering opportunities that you can search for based on your availability as well. So volunteering is not only great for giving back, it's good for meeting new people and connecting with others, as well as learning new skills. These skills you can use also as work experience. You know, if you're looking for a job, it helps to get more varied experience. And you're likely to have more free time at college, which gives you the chance to get involved in other activities as well. Now we're going to think about managing stress, as studying and working towards your goals can be quite challenging at times. Looking after yourself is a lot easier when things are running smoothly and when you've got lots of time. But what happens when things get busier? There's more pressure and your to-do list is getting longer. Sometimes we don't realise the pressures are building up until it becomes hard to handle. The stress bucket is a helpful way of thinking about this.
Stress is something that we all experience sometimes. When problems and pressures get too much, we can start to feel overwhelmed and struggle to cope. Everyday pressures like work, money, and family worries can place huge demands on us, as can big life events like losing your job, family breakdown, or the death of someone close. The stress bucket is a helpful way of thinking about your problems and finding different ways of looking at what's causing your stress. Imagine that you carry a bucket with you. As the day goes by, different problems and demands fill up your bucket. When your bucket overflows, the stress can make you angry, anxious, or sad. The good news is there are things that you can do to manage these problems and stop your bucket overflowing. Try and exercise a bit more, eat well, and get more sleep. Get support by talking to someone you trust and telling them how you feel. Make a list to help break problems down and think about your priorities. What smaller tasks should you tackle first? Try the relaxation ideas on the Mindwell website. Take a short break, practice breathing techniques, and find the things that work for you. Making these small changes can feel good, like turning on a tap to release some of the pressure you're feeling. Explore the Mindwell website for more helpful tools and ideas for coping with stress and keeping your buckets from overflowing.
The stress bucket is a helpful model for thinking about stress, and different people have different sized buckets. Some are smaller, some are bigger, which means some might fill up quickly or take longer. Knowing a range of strategies we can use to release these stresses and keep the water in our bucket at a level we can manage helps to keep stress in check. So I want you to think for a moment about what fills up your stress bucket. Is it, worries about changes, fallouts, or arguments, relationships, family, money, health? And I also want you to think about what coping strategies might help to empty your stress bucket. So, for example, would it be spending time with friends and family, doing sports or exercise, gaming, pamper sessions, reading, writing? It's personal for everyone, but knowing which kind of coping activities help you is really valuable. Okay, so to summarize, making time during your week by scheduling in relaxation, scheduling in enjoyable activities, hobbies, and learning new skills can be really helpful. You can use your diary, you can use your use a calendar on your phone or email to do this, or you could even just set reminders for certain days so that you remember. It's really tempting to stop doing these things during times of additional pressure. For example, if there are like difficulties, like personal difficulties, family problems, exams, coursework. But being at your best is about maintaining balance. So sometimes when things get busier or there's more going on, it's even more important to try and schedule in some of these things just to counter it. So exercise, it releases feel-good hormones, endorphins, and it can really help us to clear our mind and reduce stress levels. You don't have to be extremely active. You can find small ways to get moving to help you feel better. Here's a short video with 5 ways to get moving for well-being.
5 ways to get moving and feel better. Number 1, start small. You don't need to be lifting hundreds of pounds or run a marathon to feel better. Try a short walk or join a fun class. We're all different, so different things will help us feel better. Number 2, be kind to yourself. If you're doing anything more than you normally would, then that's a step in the right direction. Keep a diary or tell a friend about your achievements. Number 3, everyday things count. Gardening, vacuuming, mopping, those pesky chores are good for your mental health too. Number 4, clear your head. Physical activity often helps you concentrate on something other than unwanted thoughts and worries. Number 5, celebrate your achievements. Give yourself a reward whenever you've done well. These are just a few ideas. Why not add yours?
Sometimes we need to do more, so make more time for different activities and get quite active. But other times we just need to slow down and take a moment to pause, breathe and relax. So practicing relaxation techniques regularly, so daily, can help us feel calmer, okay, in general. So what I want you to do now is make a note on a scale from 1 to 10 of how relaxed or calm you feel right now. So 10 would be completely sort of at your most relaxed, and 1 would be not at all relaxed. Okay, and 5 would be somewhere in the middle. And we're now going to take a short moment to relax. So during the video, I'd like you to take slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Ready? How are you feeling now? I'd like you to rate again from 1 to 10. So 1 being not at all to 10 completely. How relaxed, calm you're feeling right now. Now we're going to think about when to seek support and how to do this whilst you're at college. As humans, we have times when we struggle. Luckily, there are many other humans who all need a little help for something at some stage in their lives. And guess what? It's okay to give, ask for, and accept support. Why wait? If you notice you're struggling in some way, or if you have a problem that's causing you upset, of course it's good to try and figure things out for yourself. But if you do that and you feel it's not helping, please do speak to a trusted person or visit student services at college, who will be able to help you access the right support for you. Okay, so every college has a student services department, and you can walk in at any time and ask for a chat with somebody there. They're there to provide support and are able to link you in with the right service for you. So do drop in if you would like some information or advice. You can also call on the telephone numbers above or email the department directly. We really can't stress enough. Seek support early. Don't leave it until everything feels totally overwhelming. Take a photo of the screen if you don't have the details to hand, and that way you can access it if you need it. Okay, there's also our free NHS Wellbeing support team, who offer between 6 and 12 weekly one-to-one guided self-help sessions that help you to learn different techniques to manage the difficulty, for example, anxiety, low mood, anger, overthinking, low motivation and sleep difficulties. So we've got Sally, Sarah, me, Amber and Emma. And if you are struggling with your mental health or feel as though you'd benefit from some extra support, please do speak to your personal tutor or student services, and they'll be able to link you in with the right sort of help. I hope that you've found this webinar helpful.